Premier League game week 2 didn't disappoint. From the first game of the weekend to Chelsea versus Tottenham, the drama, the fights, Manchester United is not looking good. We're gonna break everything down. Let's get into it. Hello guys and welcome to the CrossBar. I'm your host Arthur. I talk football. Today we're going to be reviewing the games that were on the weekend. Liverpool is playing today, which is Monday. We'll make a separate video for their game tomorrow. That will be dropping tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. But firstly, what a weekend. All of the games they disappoint apart from two 0-0 draws. Apart from that, each and every game was enticing. High tempo, drama, last minute goals, comebacks. Chelsea versus Tottenham, the game of the weekend. But we will save it for last. The first game I want to get into is Arsenal versus Leicester. Arsenal winning 4-2. Goals scored by Jesus, Xhaka, Martinelli. Arsenal really looked good. I had predicted in my previous video that Arsenal would that game would end in a draw, Arsenal-Leicester, but I was wrong. Arsenal really impressed me. They really looked good. Now, since they have a prolific striker like Jesus, they can score goals out of nowhere. Because both of his goals were scored out of his sharpness, his goal. He likes goals, so he was in the right places and he tried things that nobody else in Arsenal would have tried before. The first goal where he just shot it and took a deflection, went over the keeper. The header on the far post, nobody would have been there for Arsenal if he wasn't there. But since they have got a man who has a smell for goal, who's a poacher, wants to score goals, always in those areas where the ball might fall, anticipating. That's the reason why Arsenal will go along this season. I feel like Leicester would have had a better chance of pushing Arsenal if they had their keeper Schmeichel in goal yesterday. Because I feel like each and every goal Arsenal scored, the keeper could have done better. Mostly on those, when Leicester when it became 2-1, Arsenal was starting to look shaky. But after that, the keeper made a mistake and they scored the third goal. So it was 3-1. Every time they tried to come back, the keeper pushed them back. And the goals Arsenal scored weren't really the best goals we ever see. But I feel like if Schmeichel was in for Leicester, it would have been a different game. But Arsenal took their chances. They really didn't give Leicester any chance to implement their style. Vardy looked out of it. He was isolated on top. There was a big room between Vardy and the rest of the team. So I feel like they had no connection. Maddison wasn't connecting the play from defense, not from midfield to attack. So they really never got in rhythm. That's because of Arsenal's midfield. Xhaka and Partey were breaking the lines, setting press, not letting them set on the ball, always on them, moving the ball quick when they got it. When they lost it, they went on pressurized Arsenal. Martin Odegaard praying that lull where he's like almost a free roamer, can go on the left, can go on the right, drops between the defense and the midfield, very hard to defend against, whereas Jesus is running in the channels, coming short, running deep, making runs, taking on people, pressurizing the defense when he loses the ball, always looking sharp. So Arsenal really looked good. The only thing about Arsenal, the only problem they had was their defense. Teams still feel like they can get at them until they get that respect from other teams that we feel like when scoring today. That's when Arsenal is going to ascend to another level, because I feel like teams still feel like we can get at Arsenal. A bad Leicester team scored 2 goals against Arsenal. That shouldn't happen. That game should have been won by Arsenal like 4-0. Those 2 goals weren't supposed to be scored by Leicester, but since Arsenal is still have those problems in defense, those small tweaks they need to change, but that will come with time. Them winning, keeping clean sheets. They have already won 2 games of the start of the season. Hey, if you win all your games, that's all you can do. You can't care about what other teams are doing. As long as they keep on developing. They have a young squad, young defenders, young midfielders. They're a bit Xhaka and Partey a bit old, not like the other squad players. Jesus in their 20s, Martinelli, Xhaka, Saliba, all those are young players. But I feel like with time, they will develop better. Arteta will implement more of his style. He's bringing his own players, chasing out the old players he found there. They weren't playing for the team. So since he came in, he's changing the squad. And I feel like Arsenal are really going to have a good season. And if they can build from this season, if they have a good one, build on from this season to the next. Otherwise, if they don't hit those levels they should hit as soon as possible, they might lose their top players like Saka, Martinelli to these teams of Liverpool, Man City. Because they are looking at Saka. They're like a prey, like a gazelle in the jungle. Cheetahs looking at it, lions looking at it. Man City, Liverpool are looking at Saka, looking at Martinelli, Odegaard. Okay, if you don't play Champions League football this season, next season, Saka might not sign a new contract. He might be like, I would like to play Champions League football. That's when Arsenal starts to get trouble. But I feel like the squad they have now, they are on the rise. But if they don't hit those levels as a team, because the individuals they have are good individuals, so as a team they should hit those heights soon. Otherwise, they might lose their whole young core to these bigger established teams. So I feel like Arsenal are going to, yeah, they really played very well. Very good tempo from the first minute. Their fans really did good. Did a good job today. No, did a good job on Saturday when Saliba scored an own goal. They sang his name, supported him, didn't bore him, didn't push down the team. They were behind the team, behind the coach, behind everybody. Even though they almost lost their lead when it was 2-1, the fans came in and pushed them. That's when they scored a 3-1 goal. So I feel like the fans at Emirates are really behind the coach. And if they maintain this love between the team, the coach, they will be very fine. The other game I would like to jump in was Man City versus Bournemouth. There's not really much to dissect here. That was a sure win. I think everybody predicted that to be a win for Man City. The only thing I didn't see coming was Haaland having 2 complete passes, 8 touches in the whole game. If you play for Man City and have only 2 complete passes in 75 minutes, it's really a surprise. But since he's in a new system, with a new coach, new ideas, I think it will take him time to adapt. I feel like the players in Man City are not adapting to him yet. He wants to adapt to the team, but they're not adapting to him because they're used of playing with a 9, a false 9, a 9 who drops, a 9 who engages the game. Whereas he wants to run the channels, run deep. And since Man City have the ball all the time, there's no channels to run into. There's no spacing behind the defense. So everything is to fit. Whereas Holland likes to run in the channels, pass the ball. Any defender in this world can't contain me when I'm on full speed. So Holland feels like they should adapt him to him more. Because even Foden had a chance to give him a tap in. Foden took it on, and Holland was pissed. He was frustrated, and I feel like Holland is going to start to realize that in Man City, they're not playing for him. Man City is more of a squad team, not like we're playing for one man to make him score goals. In Dortmund, that would have been a pass to him because everybody was trying to assist Holland. Holland is our main guy. If we pass the ball to Holland, we have a chance to win. In Man City, everybody's that guy. Everybody's that guy. They know there isn't this top guy in the team. No. Everybody is that guy. Everybody can score a winner. Everybody can be man of the match any time of the day. So Holland will have to adapt to that, him not being the main man in Man City. Well, the goals were scored by Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, and they scored an own goal. Holland, even though he had 2 complete passes, one of those was a kickoff and an assist. So I feel like there's nothing to panic about him having 2 touches. As soon as he adapts to the play, because even we saw against West Ham, the goals he scored, one was a penalty, the other was in transition, where De Bruyne passed the ball to him in transition and was free one-on-one with the keeper. So I feel like those are the type of goals he will score in Man City. Those are the type of goal he wants to score in Man City. But whereas Man City don't do that, they keep the ball all the time, from wing to wing. Defenders play, midfielders play. You as a striker, you have to get engaged. Holland doesn't have the technique to do that. But I feel like Man City are benefiting off that because defenders are so focused on Holland that they are letting their midfielders run the channels instead. They're not using Holland to run the channels. They're using Holland as a trap to attract defenders. Everybody's focusing on him. Whereas Gundogan is running to the wings. Kevin De Bruyne is running to the wings. They have now enough space around around Holland because the defense is so congested around him, which leaves space for the other players. That will benefit Man City in the long run. But for Holland, he will feel like this is not my type of football. I want to be the one to score goals. I want to be the one to lift the team up. It will take some time for him to change his mind, but I feel like he wants to be the top guy. Whereas in Man City, they are a team player, not one man team. So Man City is benefiting from him being there, but him as a player wants to also grow, score goals, be top scorer, win individual awards, whereas as collective awards. So we see how that marriage between Man City and Holland will continue. Hopefully it will go well, but as I see it right now, I feel like Man City is benefiting more from having Holland than Holland is benefiting from being Man City. Hear me out. I'm saying this because Man City is going to win more games easily, and since they have five substitutions, they can change even Holland. Whereas Holland, he will win titles, but as long as for the individual awards, the Golden Boots, the Player of the Year, the Ballon d'Ors, he won't win them because he's in a team where he's not scoring the goals all the time. He will have to change his style of play to benefit the team. So I feel like Man City is benefiting more having Holland than Holland benefits being with Man City, if you get what I mean. Guys, comment what you think about Man City and Holland, or what I'm talking about, because I feel like I want to explain so that you guys get it. I'm not saying Holland being Man City is a lose for him, because he will still win titles. But for his legacy, for his marketing, for his name, brand, he wants to be the main man in a team. And I feel like in Man City, he won't be the main man. Everybody there is a main man. Everybody there is a top guy. So he won't be like he was in Dortmund, where everybody wanted to help him score goals, feed him. Everything's about Holland, Holland, Holland. Every news that comes out is Holland. Every match Dortmund played, Holland. Even though he didn't play, they still talked about Holland. In Man City, De Bruyne, Grealish, Foden, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Cancelo, Diaz, everybody has a big name. So I feel like Holland will have to adapt to that. And I feel like he's not the type of player to be a squad player. He wants to be the main man. So that's where them in the long run, if Pep Guardiola stays there, they won't click. Because Holland will be winning titles, but he won't be happy. I feel like he will leave because he wants to be the main man. The type of Ibrahimovic was with Guardiola in Barcelona, winning titles, but he didn't engage with the coach. He didn't engage with the system. He was winning titles, not scoring goals, not scoring his numbers. His brand was going down. So I feel like that's where Holland and Man City will have to figure it out. If they do, that'll be beautiful. But in my eyes, they won't. And guys, make sure you hit the like button, turn on the notification bells, share, and comment if you dare. And tell me what you think about this past weekend's games. What game impressed you the most? What team do you think is looking sharper than the rest? Drop in the comments. The game I would like to get into now is Chelsea versus Tottenham. What a game! Chelsea versus Tottenham, what a thrilling game. From the coaches fighting, the players fighting, Harvard shouting at the linesman when he didn't get the free kick. 2 minutes later, Tottenham scored an equalizer. It was a game full of passion, emotions. Everything was in the game. Of course, the game resulted in a draw, 2-2. I predicted the game to be a draw. in my previous video. So, because I knew both teams weren't, they're defensive teams. The only thing I saw in this game was Chelsea really need a striker. If Chelsea have a striker, they win that game 4-0 easily. The chance they created without them getting finished, that was their problem. They also got robbed. Each and every goal Tottenham scored was after a Tottenham foul. The first goal they scored by Hobbier, Horvath got tackled illegally. Referee gave a free kick. 2 minutes later, Tottenham scored. Of course, Chelsea have to do a better job. You can't complain about something that happened 2 minutes ago. But Chelsea got robbed in that one. On the corner, their new left back got his hair pulled in the box. The referee went to VAR, checked everything. He said, hey, the man likes your hair and he pulled your hair. He thought you were wearing a wig. Maybe you try to see what type of hair you're using, what type of shampoo you're using, and he pulled his hair. And a corner comes in, Big Kane, Harry Klose, as Oozing Expression calls him, with a beautiful head. Actually, I think that was an own goal, but you never know. Maybe it was going on target, because I feel like when he headed the ball, he touched Reece James's thigh and went in. The game was really entertaining, but I feel like Chelsea dominated every aspect of the game. From the first minute, Sterling really looked sharp. N'Golo Kante. What a player. The guy is like in his 30s. He ran the whole entire game until his legs gave up on him. He was sensational. Winning the ball back, driving the ball, tempo-wise, passing everywhere on the pitch, dominating. He was electric in Chelsea scoring the second goal. He won the ball from the Swedish winger Kulusevski, passed it to Mason Mount. Mason Mount opened up his body, gave it to Reece James. Reece James with an easy tap in, but N'Golo Kante really looked good. Chelsea's defense still has question marks around it, but I feel like they're still gelling. They still need they still need understanding, because they have a master in art of defense, Thiago Silva. With Koulibaly on his left, yeah, I think it will work in the long run. But as for now, they still need time to get together and engage and implement each other with their playing styles. The other player that impressed me in that game was Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I haven't heard from this guy in years. He's on and off, loans to Fulham, comes back, he gets loaned out again, comes back, gets loaned out again. What is going on? And then he comes in against Tottenham, London Derby, drops a 10 out of 10 performance, strong, drives the ball, can dribble, very confident, looked good. It's as if they played him it's as if they played 4-4-2 and he was playing on the right midfielder position. Him and Reece James had a very good combination on the wing, interchanging, Reece James overlapping, creating chances for him. He really impressed me. I even got shocked that he started the game, because I wasn't expecting that to happen. Out of nowhere, he's back in the team. He looks like he's going to stay in the team if he stays performing like this. And his injury history doesn't help him, but hopefully, if he stays fit, he's going to have a good season. Toko love him. Teams loves him. He's been persuasive. He's been persistent. Didn't give up. Been loaded 20 times, but still came back. So the game was really entertaining. Tottenham didn't really have much in the game. They didn't look a threat any time of the game. Kane missed a one-on-one with the keeper, but they really scrambled for that draw. Chelsea should have had an easy win that game, dominated the ball every minute. With no striker, that's the problems comes in. That's why I feel like Chelsea are still off the top four, because of that one position, the striker. They don't have a prolific striker, a goal scorer. I know the season the transfer hasn't closed, so if they get a striker before the season ends, then they can push for top four. But as for now, not having a striker, playing a very good game they played against Tottenham and not winning that game, that's where they're going to look back in the season when they end 5th or 6th and be like, if we had a striker, that game against Tottenham, that game against this team, that game, we could have won them easily. But since they don't have one, they will have to scramble each and every game. They have to push 100% each and every game. And you can't do that each and every game. Some games you have a bad day. That's when you need a striker that will take that one chance they get. You don't have to get 20 chances for a striker to score a goal. You'll have a bad day, a day off. Striker is there on top. A cross comes in out of nowhere, he scores. Reece James put in a delicious ball in the box to Havertz. A sweet curry, got chicken cross on the plate. The only thing Havertz had to do is to eat his food. But he wasn't hungry. Shot the ball. Didn't even hit he hit the goal. He didn't even the shot wasn't even on target. At least if it was on target, I understand. Wide. Chelsea don't look good. And the drama of the weekend, Conte versus Tuchel. This is what I love about the Barclays Premier League. We need more of this. I remember when Wenger fought with Mourinho. This is what we need. This is what the league needs. Fights from the coach. Coach is showing emotion. This every coach is lovey-dovey. No. Nobody wants to see that. People want to see fights. You don't need to be physical, like push each other, but engage, put fire in the game. Push each other, talk shit about each other. Look me in the eyes when I shake your hand. He said, look me in the eyes when I shake your hand. I don't know what type of romance Tuchel is in. I don't know what type of guy he is, but he wants to be looked in the eye when you shake his hand. Maybe that's his pet peeve. No, maybe that's his kink. I don't know what he's in. Hey, nobody's judging here. But for him, he wants you to look in his eyes when you shake his hands. And since Conte didn't respect that, he felt attacked. But actually, Conte started the whole drama because when Tottenham scored their equalizer, Conte went and celebrated in front of Chelsea's bench. That's when Tuchel came and was like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And then when Chelsea scored 2-1, Tuchel went running from the Chelsea bench past Conte to the fans, came back. And then when the game was done, more drama broke out. Oh my God, this is what I really enjoyed the game. I had predicted the game to be a draw plus being a boring game. I didn't anticipate this happening. The coaches fighting, the players are fighting. Wow. This was the game of the weekend and early contender of the game of the season. This is what we like. Not only it was a draw, but what happened around the game. That's what lifts up to be a contender of the game of the season. So hopefully we see more of this from coaches. I want to see Pep Guardiola versus Klopp, a fist fight. Not a fist fight. No. We don't promote violence here. But in a bar of arguments, they're all lovey-dovey. I want to see that change. The game that surprised me the most on the weekend. The game I wouldn't have guessed in 1,000 years to happen. A game that was so shocking. I haven't seen a game this bad I haven't seen a game this bad from a team considered to be one of the greatest team of all time. Ever. A game that was so shocking to the naked eye. Brentford versus Manchester United. Manchester United losing 4-0 to Brentford. It sounds bad, but if you break it down even more, they were 4-0 down in the 40th minute. Manchester United was 4-0 down against Brentford in the 40th minute, first half. Manchester United has some of the best players in the world, so-called. Has one of the highest earning players in the world. They have the highest earning the keeper. Rashford is on mad wages. Sancho is on bread. Manchester United has one of the best facilities, best squad, best physios, best everything, mentors, physicians, everything. And they lost 4-0 against Brentford. Manchester United, what is happening? And I ain't going to blame the coach. I'm not going to blame the coach because the coach is not the one to blame. They have had Mourinho, Van Gaal, Solskjaer. This coach that left recently, they have had all the coaches in the world. Nothing has changed. This is no longer about coaches. This is the personnel they have in the team. You can blame the owners, the Glazers, everything you want, but as for now, we're talking about football, not the politics in football. The Glazers are not on the pitch playing the game. The Glazers are there up in the hierarchy of the club, but when it comes to the pitch, when the referee blows the whistle, the Glazers are not playing the football. It's the players on the pitch, and none of them was looking like they were ready to play against Brentford. Brentford looked like prime Barcelona, 09 Barcelona, having Messi, David Villa, Pedro. In midfield they have Puyol. No, in midfield they have Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets. They looked sensational, playing rondos against around their midfield, playing rondos in the attack, switching the play. They made them look good. So the coach ain't there to blame. The coach needs time. This is his second game. He needs time to implement his style. He needs time to get his own players. Because I don't feel like most of these players, they won't be there if the coach is given power. Manchester United don't give the coach power. He's the coach, but he's not the manager. He doesn't control the transfers. He doesn't control the squads, who should leave, who should come in, who should play. I feel the owners are still controlling him. That's when the Glazers come in. They're still controlling what the coach does. I feel like that shouldn't happen. The owners can't be controlling what the coach does. That's when the coach has no powers. And when the coach has no powers, the players can smell that. When the players know a coach has no power, they'll be like, I can disrespect you. Because my bosses think my bosses give you no power, so you can't fire me. If they love me, they will fire you before they fire me. So that the players won't respect the coach until the coach is given the power to kick out whoever they want, to bring in whoever they want, to bench whoever they want. Until then, the coach can't be fired. Because if they keep on changing coaches, that won't help. So I feel like the coach needs time. He needs time, he needs power. He needs to be the one deciding who should play, who should be bought in, who should be kicked out. Because if you bring in a coach and you're the one who's deciding who to buy and who to sell, then why do you have the coach for? Just to implement the style of play with the players they have. Each and every coach needs their own players, their own style, their own system. The same way Klopp, Guardiola, when they came to their own teams, they had to chase out the old players and bring in new players that ate the idea they were getting fed. So Manchester United have to give the coach the powers to get his own squad. If you see the style of play the coach wants to play, and you see the personnel on the pitch, that won't be possible. Let's begin with the goalkeeper, David De Gea. David De Gea was once one of the best keepers in the world. Scoring against him was once in a blue moon. A guy could save everything. But since 2018 World Cup, he hasn't been the same guy. He has to go. Because the new coach wants to play from the back, and De Gea doesn't have the capability of doing that. Made 2 mistakes in the lose against Brentford. He's not quick with his feet. He can't pass the ball. He's not composed. He might be a good shot stopper, but when it comes to playing with the feet, that's where the coach wants his players to start from the back. You need a keeper who's uncomfortable on the ball. Same way as Guardiola came to Man City, chased out Joe Hart, English number 1, one of the best keepers in the league, chased him out because he was like, this is not my player. I want a keeper who can play with his feet. And if they can't allow Ten Hag to chase out De Gea and bring in the keeper who can play with his feet, who can play his type of football, they'll have more problems. The defense, Maguire can't keep the ball. Maguire ain't composed. He's not confident on the ball. He will make mistakes. He can't defend. He's so slow. At least play him in a back 3. If they can't sell Maguire, play a back 3. Maguire in a back 3 is sensational. Maguire in a back 2, in a back 4 where there's only 2 defenders, he can't read the game that fast. He's so slow. Change it to a back 3, he will look good. He will drive, he come out the ball, he will read plays. He has time to make a mistake because he knows there's two people behind me to make up for my mistake. So their defense has to be rectified. Martinez, I feel like he's not a defender. He's not, he doesn't have the stature to scare any striker. He came up against Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney looks like prime Ronaldo. Very confident with the ball, taking it down, running channels, because he knows the defenders I'm against, one is slow, one is short. I can play against either. I can play against Maguire, I'll use my speed. I'll play against Martinez, I'll use my physical presence. So their defense has to change. They have to bring in defenders that are comfortable on the ball. Because starting the play from the back, you need a player who's comfortable with the ball. You can't use defenders who are not good on the ball. Even in midfield, Fred, McTominay, Eriksson. Eriksson is a good player, but I feel like Eriksson should be in a team where he's surrounded by good players. Otherwise, him playing with Fred, this type of players, they'll make him look bad. But plus the balls he's getting from his defense are bad balls. He's getting passes while he has a defender on his back in his own box. That shouldn't happen. Fred has to go. He's not a type of player to play this beautiful football. He's okay in Everton, those type of teams, but not Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes. I asked a question last time. Do you guys think Bruno Fernandes is one season wonder? I think I might confirm it. Bruno Fernandes is one season wonder who went under the radar. Bruno Fernandes is a one season wonder who went under the radar. Nobody's talking about Bruno Fernandes. Everybody's focused on Ronaldo, what he's doing in Manchester United. Everybody's forgetting they have Bruno Fernandes. Ever since they took the penalties away from him, he's not the same guy. Guys, focus on Bruno Fernandes. Sancho and Rashford, I feel like they still have something left in them. They're still young. Sancho is 21, 22. Rashford is 23. They're still young. They can still change with the right manager around them, with the right money management, with the right coach, right mentality, with the right leaders. They don't have leaders in the team to show them. So I feel like Rashford and Sancho still have some more to give. I feel like both Ronaldo and Manchester United benefit from them parting ways. Them together is not a very good combination. Ronaldo is in his 38. He wants to win now. He wants to compete now. Manchester United are in a time where they are finding their identity again. They've lost their identity. They are nowhere close to competing for top four. Nowhere close for challenging for any title, any cup. So I feel like both of them are in two different dimensions. And as soon as they part ways, that would be the best. Ronaldo is looking very frustrated, which is bringing down the team morale. Ronaldo being frustrated, this was the first time he's been frustrated. He has been frustrated in Manchester United when he started his career, in Madrid, in Juventus. But because in these other teams he played for, the players around him were on the same caliber as him. So when he got mad, nobody was talking about him getting mad. Because he's getting mad at somebody who's on his same level. So when he shouts at Modric, he's saying, Modric, I know you can do better. Come on, Modric. He was in Madrid, they had leaders. They had Ramos. Ramos can shout at Ronaldo. That's a normal thing. Ronaldo can shout at Xavi Alonso. That's a normal thing. He can shout at Khedira. That's a normal thing. But when Ronaldo shouts at Sancho, Sancho's mentality will drop. His confidence will drop because they are on two different levels. Sancho is not on that level yet of being that confident. Even though you shout at him, he can still do his own thing. So when he shouts in United, when Cristiano Ronaldo shouts in United, they see it as bad teammate, arrogant, overconfident. But he still shouted in other teams because in those other teams, there were many leaders. Ramos shouted at everybody. Xavi Alonso shouted at everybody. Khedira shouted at Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo shouted at Benzema. Benzema shouted at Bale. So everybody was a leader. Everybody was talking. Everybody was showing that, come on, guys, push. When he was in Manchester United, when Cristiano Ronaldo started his career in Manchester United, they were leaders. Everybody was shouting at each other. Everybody was throwing arms. Everybody was frustrated when somebody made a mistake. But in this new age, when somebody makes a mistake and you get frustrated at them, you are the bad guy for you being frustrated at somebody making a mistake. So I feel like Ronaldo should leave Manchester United, spend the rest of his years in football playing for a good team. he should be scoring easy goals. He shouldn't be struggling to score a goal. He shouldn't be running all the game. He should be playing football, being happy, being those type of things in his fine years. And Manchester United should rebuild on the younger players who I feel like they have lost their identity. They don't know who they are. They have many years. They still have many years of slumber until they find their true identity, who they are. Are they going to compete for Conference Cup, Europa League? Because they are nowhere near Champions League football, nowhere near winning a cup. So they should shift their focus. Plus, even the team effort. There's no team effort. There is no team effort. You can't look at one Manchester United player and be like, this guy is playing for the badge. I looked at the statistics from the game. Brentford covered 109 kilometers total. Manchester United had 95. That's not bad. If you look at the amount of sprints each team made, Brentford had 90 sprints. United had 55 sprints. 90 to 55 sprints. Those numbers will affect the score. Even though you're losing and you show that type of passion, you never know what that run might make. That run might make space for somebody else. There's no fight. There's no ambition. It's feel like they have already given up. They'll be like, As soon as United concede one goal, it's downhill. Everybody's flabbergasted. Everybody has given up already. They have no passion. As soon as they concede, it goes. So United, I feel like they need a whole new squad. The coach needs to implement his style by his own players. And if he gets the powers, by getting a new squad, this is like in 3 years. So United is like 3 years from playing the football they should be playing. And like 5 years, 6 years from competing with the other two teams in Liverpool and Man City. So United fans, you guys have to understand, it's going to be a long, lonely road ahead. Your team is bad. You guys have Liverpool in next game. You're playing against Liverpool in the next game. Nunes against Martinez, it's not fair. Salah against Shaw and Martinez, it's not fair. Trent is going to be whipping balls in the box until daylight. Liverpool is going to run Manchester in the ground. 3 losses in the beginning of the season, that can't help with the confidence of the team. Because by losing 3 games in the start, the confidence is going to be low. The coach is going to start having to rethink his ideas. That's why I feel like they should call the coach, tell him, hey, your job is safe. You don't need to stress. We still have you here for like the next 4 years. Because as long as they start, if they keep on changing coaches each and every season, changing coaches, how will the players know what system to play in? If every 3-4 months you get a new coach, they won't adapt to anything. Change. I feel like they should give this guy more time, more power to engage his play. Otherwise, Manchester United is in a deep mud. As soon as they change that, they'll be on the up. But this is going to take years. They are very, very off. And I feel like they should let Cristiano Ronaldo go. Let the guy enjoy his last final years of his professional career, playing beautiful football. And you guys start rebuild. Because the marriage, they will, if Ronaldo stays, they might start a fire. A legend of the squad might start to hate each other. The club hates Ronaldo hates Manchester United because of him maybe not playing some games, because first he's gonna lose either way. So you guys tell me, what do you think about Manchester United? What do they need to change? What do they need to implement? What more do they need to do? I'm going to run through some results from the weekend from the other games. Aston Villa playing against Everton. That was a very enticing game. Lampard versus Gerrard, like back in the day. Aston Villa won comfortably, but in the last final minutes, Everton looked really threatening. They would have, I feel like they should have scored in the final minutes, but they didn't. It was a very interesting game, end-to-end game. It feels like it was tennis, back and forth. Other game, Brighton versus Newcastle, 0-0. Southampton versus Leeds. Leeds took a 2-0 lead and lost it. Leeds not looking good for them. Southampton not looking good either. But them having a 2-0 lead and then losing it shouldn't happen. Wolves versus Fulham, 0-0. Nothing to dissect. Liverpool is playing today against Crystal Palace. I feel like Liverpool should have an easy win, considering Man City has already won 2 games. Man City having 5 substitutions, that would be a very, very hard for them to lose a game. I feel like them having 5 substitutions, they might be invincible. That the Man City having 5 substitutions is illegal. They might be invincible. Because before they had 3 substitutions, they couldn't bring on another super player. Now they have 5. They can rest players. They can bring in fresh players to end games comfortably. So Liverpool have to win today. And I predict they win 4-0. Salah getting 2, Nunes getting a goal, and Keita scoring the other. Okay, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, like, comment, share, and as always, peace.